So, we are up for a very important conversation on social media. I'm getting comfortable in my chair. I have my mate here because, in case you didn't know, I'm from Argentina, and the people who were already subscribed to this channel when I used to make like book reviews and everything, they're gonna find that all of my videos are gone. And of course, those videos were in Spanish, and now I'm trying to speak more English. And I don't know, I already speak Spanish in my podcast and write a newsletter in Spanish. So go over there if you don't understand English or you don't like English. Feel free to unsubscribe and all that stuff. But yeah, we're gonna talk about social media. We're specifically gonna talk about why I quit social media 3 days ago as of today. You say, oh, 3 days ago, it's so early on. And sure, it is. But I just want to document how I've been feeling this last 3 days, how I came to the conclusion that I need to leave, and maybe do a check-in video in 6 months or a year, 2 years, 3 years, and just put it out there. The thing is, I came across a couple videos about people quitting social media very recently on YouTube, since I've been researching that. And I came across videos of people who are not exactly influencers or YouTubers or anything. They just have channels that they upload videos whenever they feel like it, whenever they have something to share, and just for the sake of sharing themselves online, and not just to build community, to build a platform, make money out of it, you name it. Videos of regular people sharing themselves online, like we used to do back in the 2000s, in the early internet days. Mate break. I love this. Anyway, so God. Okay, I quit 3 days ago. How did this all start? So I am a millennial. I was born in 1991. I am 32 years old. And my first piece of social media was Facebook, obviously. I remember making an account in high school and being very involved in it. I didn't feel like it was making me feel bad per se, or maybe I didn't notice, and honestly I don't remember. But I think I quit Facebook, as in I deleted my profile about 2 years ago, but I quit Facebook 5 years ago. So I wasn't really using it. No, I'm lying. More than 5 years ago. I wasn't even posting when I was in college, and that was in 2010, between 2010 and 2014. So definitely has been a long time coming. So I stopped using Facebook, and I left my profile there because I have my uncle, my aunt, a couple acquaintances, old friends. And I was like, what's the harm in leaving there just open? And the thing is, for some reason, that Facebook profile got hacked. I got my email changed to an email of who knows. And I never received a text message to my phone number. I never received any prompt of the two-factor authentication. I do have an app on my phone that is like the Authenticator app. And I was not getting any of that. I didn't get any email or message telling me hey, your email has been changed. None of that. And I was panicking because I was like, hey, I left this profile unattended and this happened, and it could have been really bad for my family because they have me on Facebook. They used to have me on Facebook, and I was like, what if someone writes under my name to them and they're gonna believe it, because they don't know that I don't have Facebook anymore. So I deleted the profile. So at this point, my social media profiles, name it, Twitter. I have Twitter, but I don't have it on my phone anymore. I do have it on my desktop computer. And I'm just like, I have it just because every once in a while I like looking at a meme that my boyfriend sends me and looking at the replies, whatever. But then I don't really use it. It's not a source of big problems to me because I quit Twitter, quit being active, posting and reading about a year ago, so that's out the window. But my major problems are Instagram and TikTok. So Instagram being the biggest problem. TikTok, I'm gonna, talk about TikTok for a little bit, and, just to get rid of that topic because it's not really that long and relevant. I did notice the last 2 years TikTok became really toxic for me. All of the beauty content, all of the really beautiful people. I'm just like, why is everyone so beautiful and I'm not? And in fact, I was like, am I gonna make this video now? Because I'm gonna show a close up. Well, is the phone doing something, a filter, anything? But I do have a lot of active acne. You're not gonna be able to see how red it is on camera. I don't know why. But I was like, do I want to show up like this without makeup, with all this acne? I don't feel confident. I don't feel good. It is the reality. I don't feel confident right now. I really don't. I'm not confident in my body, in my face, in my skincare, in how I look. And I do believe that TikTok and Instagram are to blame. TikTok, especially the last couple of years, with all these beauty trends, all of these influencers telling you like, hey, you shouldn't be popping your zits, you should be drinking more water, you shouldn't be drying your face with a towel. What am I supposed to do? That's my question. What am I supposed to do? How many products should I have? All of these influencers recommend a lot of products, and then they tell you, oh, but your routine can be simple. And then if you call them out on it, they're gonna be like, well, this is my job to recommend things. It's not like I'm pushing you to buy it, but here's my 30% discount, babe. So it's like, you're not contributing very much to this confidence thing that we all need. But anyways, getting out of that, I was like too involved on TikTok, like watching an hour a day, and my brain, the problem is not so much the content that I watch, because I can, as I do now, watch, fun video cats and people screwing up, like tripping and falling, whatever, which is really fun, and it doesn't really do anything to my self-esteem. But I do notice a change in my brain. I do notice that I cannot watch something longer than 30 minutes long, and I always have to be multitasking, and I don't like that. So I decided that for TikTok at least, of course I'm gonna keep it in profile because I like watching videos, but I'm just gonna watch whatever my boyfriend sends me on my inbox. And that is gonna be so much better. It's gonna be maybe 10 minutes of TikTok a day, and I know he sends me really nice stuff, like, things that are not gonna make me question my my body image or how I look or compare myself. They're just gonna be kitty videos. I mean, those are just, you can't feel bad with a kitty video, right? But Instagram, oh boy, do I have a lot to say about Instagram. I'm gonna try to make the story as short as I can, but I remember the first day that I downloaded the app back in 2010, and taking pictures, putting on their filters, their vintage looking filters. It was so much fun, and there was a lot of like normal people uploading their mundane regular life and talking through the comments. It was really nice. But that is lost now. I mean, people don't really talk on social media anymore. I do have a friend who has a community. She's not an influencer. She just has a lot of friends, and she posts like polls about like, oh, what do you prefer? Pineapple pizza or, I don't know, veggie hamburgers? And people are literally leaving her comments like, who chooses pineapple on a pizza? And all the conversations start flowing through her DMs, and it is a really fun experience. But that's the only case that I know of. I don't believe in communities of influencers. Sorry, I don't believe in them. Maybe I do in a specific case of a writer that I know from my country, that a lot of people who read her books start making friend groups based on interests, and it's really nice. But that's like the only two cases that I know of, and I've been on Instagram since it was born, basically. I used to be a pseudo influencer back in the day, and I remember doing all the things that I could do to make my account grow. It was really hard. It was really hard to do so, especially because when I started out, the market was already kind of saturated. I was in a lot of debt because I was like buying clothes way too often and using money that I didn't have, using my credit card, paying in installments. It was a mess. I am still recovering from those days, so I I got this shopping addiction thanks to Instagram. I've always been very into fashion and clothes and everything, but with Instagram, I felt like I had to deliver something new every week, and that I had to make my outfits elevated. So I cannot show up to Instagram looking like this. I mean, maybe we can now that minimalism is in, even though this shirt wouldn't be so minimalistic by, you know, the minimalism standards. But I couldn't show up like this. I couldn't show up barefaced. I had to, put on makeup, do my hair, put on these, and then put on a top very tight, like over this, like oversized shirt, and make it something interesting, just make it look high end, make it look over the top, make it look runway worth it. I was so uncomfortable doing those shootings. I was like, I'm never gonna wear this out, and I would try to go out dressed like that, and an hour later I would be like, I just want to wear stretchy pants, I just want to wear something comfortable. I don't want to think of, oh, how am I perceived by people? How is this gonna look like in a photo? How is this gonna I mean, I was going out with my boyfriend at the time, or friends, or anything, and I would be like, is this an Instagram worthy outfit? If we take pictures, is this gonna look good on camera? It was insane. I would spend weekends, cooped up at home, being planning, writing, doing photo shoots of 6 outfits a day. It would take me hours, and it would end up being a mess at home, and I had to tidy that up, and then I had to edit those pictures, and I had literally zero social life, because I was like, no, on weekends I do content creation, because I was working a 9 to 5, like a regular 9 to 5, from Monday to Friday. It was insane. I remember vividly being like, at some point, thinking, this is not working. This is not paying off, because if it's your career, then fine, you spend all the time you want content creating, whatever. But it was not my career. It was definitely not turning into one, and I was definitely starting to feel like that was not me. I didn't know who I was, but I knew that was not me. And that was the starting point of everything. So the time where I felt like, okay, this is not for me, I need to step back and go back to being a normal person on the internet, was in, I think, June or July 2021, when I had my Instagram account hacked. And I panicked. I changed all the information. I changed the email, I changed the password and everything. And a month later, I got hacked again, and I was like, what is going on? And I was like, you know what, this is a sign. Even though now I don't really believe in signs, I was like, this is kind of like a sign of the universe that I need to let go of this account, that I need to let go of this old me, that I am still kind of like, okay, I'm closing the door, but not so much, I'm just leaving it there, just slightly open. And I deleted that account. I let all of my friends know, like, hey, this is my new account, this is a personal account, and that's it. And that's the account that I have nowadays. Now, this account has been private since day one, has always been. I was very, very selective of the kind of people that I followed. I am not following influencers right now. I think maybe 1 or 2 that I'm kind of thinking now, oh, I probably am gonna miss these influencers, but then at the same time, I'm just like, nah, I can just go ahead and just, keep their handles in mind, and maybe once a month check in. But I'm just like, I don't want to be consuming other people's lives all the time, because I was constantly comparing myself to to all these people. And hold on, let me just look at the, okay, just, yeah, just looking at the work computer because I didn't want to, I didn't want to be like, oh, a message that I didn't read. And well, yeah, what was I saying? I let that go. I let the account go. Oh, yeah. So after that, I decided to do a month free of social media in October 2023. And that was, for me, the second time that I felt like this is the beginning of something that is probably going to change my life forever. I went back to social media after that month of free like social media, and I was completely different. I felt like everything was so materialistic. Everything was so superficial. I don't know, I was grossed out by most of the things that I saw, even some of my friends' posts. I was like, why do you need to show people a picture of you going like why do you have to do that, girl? You're beautiful. You already know you're beautiful. I mean, I know they're beautiful and they are amazing people. Kind, loving. What are you doing? What are you doing? Seriously. Like, I was like, I don't understand. Who are you trying to impress? Who are you trying to convince that you have it all together? Because I think that's it. When you post on social media, you just want to reassure yourself through the other people's, points of view that you are doing what you have to be doing. And I can think of a million examples in my head of times that I have posted something just to show people that I was thriving, or show people that, oh, I'm in a good place. And it's just like, it's so wrong in so many levels to me. I don't know. But yeah, after I went back in November 2023, that was a time where we had elections in my country, and I was afraid of people. It is not really relevant, my political views and, where I stand politically speaking. A lot of people are like, oh, if you're left or if you're right, I'm not gonna talk to you. And I'm just like, I feel like that kind of thinking doesn't benefit anyone. Of course, you can be grossed out by some things that people say from the left, from the right, whatever. But I saw some people that I considered friends wish unaliving of some people. Like, if you voted this, I hope you unalive yourself. And I was like, I don't know these people at all. I felt like that. I was like, how can you say something like that? Of course, I have my ideas. For example, I am definitely grossed out by Donald Trump. I don't think he's a good person. I think there are so many things that are wrong with him. But honestly, it doesn't really come naturally to me to wish him to, unalive himself. I don't think that way. Even if, maybe some people are going to be pissed off that I say that we have to accept that we're not going to agree, that he has a right to exist and think and talk just like every other person. We can not like it. We can disagree with it. We can be like, what the hell is wrong with you? But wishing the disease of someone just because they think differently than you, and even if they are, like, for example, I don't know, we all know that it's not okay to say, homosexuality is a sin, it's a sickness. Of course, I am grossed out. I don't want to talk to anyone who thinks that. I don't want to be close to anyone who thinks that, because that goes beyond your beliefs. That is straight hatred, like phobia. You know what I'm talking about. Like, I don't want to have anyone close to me who thinks that way. But I don't wish that they unalive themselves, right? I'm just like, well, you're entitled to your opinion, even though I think it's a really screwed up opinion. And I was like, you know what? If someone is calling people who vote differently or people who don't take sides, oh my gosh, that one. So I had a lot of people who were also like, oh, if you don't take sides and you're, how do you say it in English? Like, for us, it's like being tibio, being warm, being like, you're not, you don't prefer, summer or winter, you like autumn and you're in the middle. If you're in the middle because you recognize good ideas from both sides, it is wrong of you. You have to choose sides. You're either with us or against us. And that is why I have here my iPad, and I want to quote Brene Brown in her book Brave in the Wilderness, because she really says something that is right on point on this topic. Here she says, answers that have the force of emotion behind them but are not based in fact rarely provide strategic and effective solutions to nuanced problems. So I believe that social media does that. There's no room for nuances. Human existence is nuanced. There is no black and white. There's grays in between. And it's perfectly fine that they exist. And social media is like, no, you're either with us or against us. That's it. I don't know. You are either a feminist or you're sexist. If you're not a feminist, you're sexist. Period. And end of discussion. And it's just like, there are a lot of things in between. Can we discuss? Can we talk without trying to make the other feel like they are in the wrong, or try to, come from this defensive state in which we're like, oh, you're attacking me. And it's just like, sometimes people are not attacking you. Sometimes they are just trying to let you know what their opinion is, and you take their opinion as an attack. Of course, nowadays, a lot of people use passive aggressiveness and, get really violent when voicing their opinions. I don't think that's okay. For instance, I don't think that's okay from our president, for example. But I'm just like, this is not the kind of world that I want to live in anymore, where everything is either black or white. I don't want to live that way, because I know that human existence is nuanced. We are a constant work in progress, so we need to share our progresses. We like stories like that, and social media doesn't really allow that. For instance, on Instagram, we only look at people's highlights, and we compare ourselves, our backstage, to their like perfectly curated life. And it's not to say that it's a lie. Sometimes it is a lie, but most of the times it's just one part of 5% of the reality. And then you start noticing, when you talk to them, when you talk to your friends, that other things happen that you just don't know of from social media, and you're just like, oh, well, things happen to them too. But it doesn't matter if you know it. Subconsciously, you are comparing yourself to that. Subconsciously, you're doing that. Even if you are the most intelligent, educated, and super spiritual, thoughtful person, even if you're constantly in touch with your inner feelings and thoughts, even then, it is going to happen, because there are very intelligent people making these platforms addictive, making it impossible to be raw. And people telling you, you can do whatever you want with social media. It is up to you. It is in your control, under your control. And it's just like, no, it's not. You know what is under my control? To get off of it. To get off of it? To get out of it. Oh, sorry. I think I said something really not okay with the topic of the video, but and I decided to get out of it. At this point, I have been spending 15 minutes tops on Instagram, and it was still making me feel like crap. Even opening up the app made my blood pressure go up, and I would feel it in my body. I would feel the adrenaline. I would feel, I guess, what addicts feel when they do drugs or they drink alcohol. I don't know. It is an addiction. And the last time that I did a detox, which was in February/March of this year, I had so many withdrawal symptoms, like breaking out like crazy, like I'm doing now, because I am now feeling the need, and that is not okay to say the need, but it is a need. It feels like a need in my body. The need to open up these apps and be like, what is going on those apps? It's not just FOMO at this point. It is literally an addiction. So I was like, you know what? I don't want to do uh, digital media detoxes more often and then go back to who I was. Of course, every time that I did these detoxes, which have been only two, I came back differently. But I came back to this point, to the point where I'm like, you know what? I want this to be a permanent thing. I don't want to participate in this anymore. I don't want to consume what other people are doing on a daily basis. I don't want to upload anything. I mean, only I'm going to share like, oh, here's my newsletter, and it's a story, and I'm going to do it only when I have to. And then I'm just gonna do that, and I'm gonna keep sharing myself, maybe here every once in a while, on my podcast, on my newsletter. And if one day those things make me feel like crap, or start making me feel like crap, and it is not up to me, as in, oh, I am personally going through a difficult time right now, or I'm not being confident right now because of something that has nothing to do with the internet. If it comes to the point that these platforms change and they start making it like social media, I'm probably gonna call it quits as well. I am 32 years old. I'm not wasting my time anymore in these platforms. I'm not wasting my time making someone else richer. I already do that in my 9 to 5 job. No offense, I love my company and I love my job, and I'm happy, but I don't want to make this social media creeps happier. They already have all the money, and just because they're free doesn't mean that there's not a payment. The payment is your attention, your brain cells, whatever. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it here because I have to go to work. And yeah, I'll see you around maybe in I don't know, 6 months, a year. We'll see.